Hello friends, today we will discuss some more about summation equation. In the last lecture we have seen that the summation equation of the type such yk equal to fk plus summation from whatever it means, k from or m from something a to, if it is k minus 1 of some kernel into k of k comma m into ym. Such type of equation is called Volterra summation equation, right? It's called Volterra summation equation. And if this point is something b constant, then it is called Fredholm summation equation. We call it as Fredholm summation equation. The equation of this type here, yk equal to fk plus summation m from a to k minus 1 k of km ym, right? This equation is called Volterra summation equation, and if this upper limit is replaced by constant, then it is called Fredholm summation equation. Volterra and Fredholm. Right? Volterra and Fredholm summation equation. Now, if this kernel is symmetric, then equation with symmetric kernel. This kernel is of this type, y of or something another function y of k minus m min k minus m minus 1 into ym. If it is of this type, then we call it as equation of convolution type. It is y not necessary, u of, you can use u there, any function. Convolution type, right? Convolution type. When we say that kernel is separable, if your this kernel can be written as alpha into beta I from I is equal to something 1 to p. Separable. We call it as separable. When we say that symmetric, k of km equal to k of mk, we call it as symmetric kernel. If we replace k by m and m by k, then you should get same thing. Then it is called symmetric kernel. And we see how to solve the Fredholm summation equation as well as Volterra summation equation of convolution type. These two things we have already solved, and we have seen some examples also. Okay, these two examples we have already solved there in the last lecture. Now we have some results on this. Okay. Which type of results we are having? If k of km is the real and symmetric kernel, then all the eigenvalues of this equation are real. What is the eigenvalue? This lambda. Such value is called lambda. In integral equation, you know that in integral equation, u of x equal to f of x plus lambda times integral from 0 to either t or something a to t or a to b, k of tx into u of t into dt, or xt you can write like this, a of xt u of t dt. So this lambda was their eigenvalue for this equation. Similarly, if lambda is of this type, then it's called eigenvalue, where f of k is 0 here. Fk is 0 here. So it is a homogeneous equation with eigenvalue lambda. So what is the result says? If this kernel is real and symmetric, then all the eigenvalues are real. Now, if lambda I uk and lambda j vk are the eigenpairs with different eigenvalues, then uk and vk are orthogonal with each other. Same result already we proved in summation equations, in integral equations. Now the same result we have to show, parallel result we have to prove for this summation equation also. That is Volterra summation equation as well as Free-Dahl. This is for Free-Dahl summation equation because upper limit is constant. So what this result says, if kernel is real and symmetric, then its eigenvalue is real. Now if it is real, we have two things. They may be different, they may be same. Eigenvalues may be different, eigenvalues may be same. And if they are different, if eigenvalues are different, then the corresponding eigenfunction. Now what is meant by eigenfunction? The solution of this equation by putting lambda is equal to lambda I. That solution is UK and such solution is called corresponding eigenvector. So eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda I. Eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda I. So then, and this pair is called eigenpair. Pair is called eigenpair with lambda I not equal to lambda j. Then UK and VK are orthogonal. In integral equation, orthogonal was this. Two functions are said to be orthogonal if integral from a to b f(x)(gx) equal to 0. This was the concept of orthogonal in integral equations. Same, we are replacing this definite integral by definite summation. So if summation from k equal to a to b, uk vk equal to 0, then uk and vk are said to be orthogonal. Now, there always exists a real eigensequence that correspond to each eigenvalue. We have to show that again. There must be a real eigensequence. Eigensequence means this one, no doubt. uk and vk are eigensequences there. In integral equations, we call it as eigenvectors. Here we call it as eigensequences. And the eigensequence corresponding to eigenvalue lambda is called eigenpair. There always exists a real eigensequence that correspond to each eigenvalue, right? So there always exists a real eigensequence. Eigensequence is real that corresponds to each real eigenvalue. So for every real eigenvalue, there is a real eigensequence. Okay. Now we will prove one by one. Let mu uk and nu vk be the eigenpair of equation yk equal to lambda times m from a to b k of km into ym. That is, suppose this is the homogeneous summation equation of Free-Dahl type because upper limit is constant, and this is the kernel in this summation equation. What we are saying, suppose mu is the one eigenvalue, nu is the another eigenvalue, and corresponding to eigenvalue mu, eigensequence uk is there, corresponds to eigenvalue nu, eigensequence vk is there, with the eigenpair of equation this one. Okay, where k lies between a and b. Then mu comma nu not equal to 0. We are taking eigenpair means what? This should be non-zero. There is a non-zero eigenvalue. Then we say that it is eigenpair. Okay. So eigensequence means it is a solution with respect to non-zero eigenvalue. With respect to non-zero eigenvalue. So then mu and nu are non-zero. Since mu comma uk is an eigenpair of 1, so by uk and by mu, this equation should be satisfied. Therefore, mu k equal to uk, sorry, this is not mu k, but it is uk equal to mu times summation of k of km into um from m equal to a to b, from m equal to a to b. So as it is an eigenpair, therefore this is the eigensequence. That means it is a solution of given summation equation with corresponding to eigenvalue mu. So equation this we get. Multiplying by vk and summing from a to b, we obtain. What we are doing? First of all, I will multiply it by vk. So uk into vk equal to mu times summation m from a to b k of km um into vk. And what we are taking? Summing from a to b. So summation of left hand side k from a to b uk vk equal to mu summation from k equal to a to b of this again m from a to b, k of km, um, vk. Okay, that is the case. Now this is equal to mu times summation from m is equal to a to b as it is, right? K from a to b, what we are taking as summation is interchangeable, means what? You take summation over m firstly and then summation over k, which will be same as by taking summation over k firstly and then summation over m. So I will take summation m from a to b of summation k from a to b, k of km vk, and outside this m. Why? Because you are taking summation corresponds to k, therefore there will be no change in the term containing m, therefore I will take this here and these two here, isn't it? That we can. So k from a to b, k of mk or km into vk, which is equal to mu upon v summation m from a to b vm into uvm. Now why this happens? Why this will happen? Since nu vk is an eigenpair of 1, so can I get one more equation, vk equal to nu summation from m equal to a to b k of km into vm. Can we get it? We can get it. Similarly, you can change this variable. Can I write it as nu into summation from, I will take it as k from a to b of k of, replace k by m and m by k, mk vk. You can go for this mk vk. Therefore, summation k from a to b k of mk vk is equal to vk upon nu, and that we have written, isn't it? This is there. So what about here? Summation k from a to b k of mk vk should be equal to vk upon nu, but it is now it is dependent on m, so I will write it as, in place of k I will write m, right? This is also there. Summation from m equal to a to b, it is vk upon nu, that can be written as, if I replace k by m by k, it becomes vm upon, so it becomes m, vm equal to nu from this one, right? So therefore vm equal to, if vk is nu times summation from m is equal to a to b k km vm, then vm becomes, replace k by m, you will get nu times as it is summation k from a to b k of mk vk, isn't it? So this can be written as vm upon nu, right? So this summation m from a to b and this bracket becomes vm upon nu. Nu is a constant, I will take outside. So mu upon nu into vm into um. Therefore, what is this? Therefore, summation from k is equal to a to b uk vk is equal to mu upon nu summation from m equal to a to b vm um, which can be written as nu times summation from k is equal to a to b uk vk equal to mu times summation from m is equal to a to b vm um. But we know that you can replace this m by any variable changing m by here. So I will write this as, this is also equal to mu times summation from, if I replace m by k times k from a to b vk into uk. So we got this. Now vk into uk can be written as uk into vk, mu times summation k from a to b of uk into vk. Now this term and this term same, therefore I will take this mu minus mu summation from k equal to a to b uk vk equal to 0. This is equation number 2. So if mu comma uk and nu comma vk are eigenpairs of given Fredholm equation, homogeneous Fredholm equation with corresponding eigenvalues mu and nu respectively, then we get this one, nu minus mu summation from k equal to a to b uk vk equal to 0. Now here, if two eigenvalues are different, that is nu is not equal to mu, then obviously this summation will be equal to 0. But this implies you can't be care orthogonal with each other. You can't be care orthogonal with each other. So that we have taken. Now if lambda I yk is an eigenpair of 1, then lambda I bar yk bar is also an eigenpair of 1, right? Is also an eigenpair of 1 by taking bar. With mu uk is equal to lambda I yk and nu vk is equal to lambda I bar yk bar, equation 2 becomes lambda bar minus lambda summation from k equal to a to b yk bar equal to 0. This implies, but this is non-zero now, because yk bar is mod of yk square equal to 0. As yk is eigen sequence, it is non-zero. It should be a non-zero solution. It is not equal to 0. Therefore, there should be lambda bar minus lambda equal to 0. And what this implies? Eigenvalues are real. The eigenvalues are real. So if lambda I yk is an eigenpair, then obviously its bar is also eigen, because if yk satisfies given Fredholm equation corresponding to lambda I, by taking bar of those, you can also say that yk bar satisfies with respect to lambda I bar, right? As eigenvalue lambda is real, k of km is real, so that uk is equal to lambda times m from a to b k km um is also real. So this is also real there. Okay. So thus what we proved there, all the three cases we have proved. If kkm is real and symmetric, where symmetricity we used here, kkm equal to kmk, this kkm equal to kmk, here we use symmetricity, isn't it? Because of symmetric kernel you can write this, and we use this one. Okay, so which things we have proved? If your kernel is real and symmetric, then all the eigenvalues of non-homogeneous summation equation, Fredholm summation equation, are real. Moreover, if these two are eigenpairs with different eigenvalues, corresponds to different eigenvalues, then the eigensequences are orthogonal. That also we have proved. And there always exists a real eigensequence that corresponds to each eigenvalue, because of kernel is what? Here. If lambda is real, kernel is real. If this is real and lambda is real, then what we can say that your uk is equal to, this term is also real. This term is also real. Okay, that's why we have taken this. So if lambda is real, then its eigensequence is also real. Okay, we have one example here of homogeneous, means how to obtain the eigenvalues, eigenpair of given summation equation. Solve the following Fredholm summation equation. Yk is equal to lambda times m from 1 to 19 km into y. Now k of km equal to km. Is this kernel is symmetric? Yes, it is symmetric. Why symmetric? Because km can be written as mk, which is k of mk. Is it real? Yes, it is. We have given real. A is 1, B is 19. I will find lambda. Here, k of km is equal to something lambda times k. I will take this lambda here. In that case, your kkm becomes lambda times km. So let alpha 1 k is equal to lambda k and beta 1 equal to m. Therefore, by using previous a11 equal to summation from k is equal to 1 to 19 alpha 1k beta 1k, right? Because there is only one term, it is separable also. As it is one term, kernel is separable. Kernel is symmetric as well as separable here. Okay, summation from k is equal to 1 to 19 alpha 1k. If alpha 1k is lambda k, so I will write lambda k into beta 1k. Beta 1 is m, therefore beta 1k is k. So this will give summation from k is equal to 1 to 19 lambda times k square, which is equal to lambda times summation of k square means what? 1 square plus 2 square plus up to plus n square. It has there. So what is it? N into n plus 1, 2n plus 1 divided by 6 formula. 19 into 20 into 2n plus 1. 38 plus 1, 39 upon 6. So we get 190 into 13, that is 2470 lambda. Now u1 equal to summation from k is equal to 1 to 19 beta 1 k fk. But fk is 0, so it is equal to 0. So if this holds, then we know that how to find its solution. We need to solve this equation. I minus a ck is equal to u bar. But as it is only one terms are there, I is 1, a is a11, 2470 lambda, c is c1, and u bar equal to 0 because this is 0. So 2470 lambda must be equal to 1. Why? Because c1 is non-zero. If c1 is 0, there is nothing to prove there. Okay, everything becomes 0. c1 is non-zero. If c1 is 0, there is nothing to prove. So this is equal to 0. Therefore 2470 lambda equal to 1. So lambda equal to 1 upon 2470. Lambda equal to 1 upon 2470. If lambda is 1 upon 24 means eigenvalues we obtain. Eigenvalue we obtain. Now therefore a11 becomes 1. So yk equal to fk plus summation from I is equal to 1 to n ci alpha ik. Fk is 0. So it is only c1 alpha 1 k. What is c1? C1 we obtained there. Here it is c. So summation from m is equal to 1 to 9 beta 1 m into ym. Either this or this. This is also there. M from 1 to 19. This is for ci. C1 के लिए this है beta 1 m ym, which is equal to summation from m is equal to 1 to 19. Beta 1 is m is y. So this is y. Okay. In this way, we can obtain yk there. In this way, we can obtain yk there. So this is the way to find solution of this one. Okay. So in this way, we can obtain the solution. There are many other ways. So these are the way by which you can solve the summation equation by using summation. So you have k lambda times lambda is there, m from 1 to m, k into m into ym is there. Okay, k into m into ym. So it is yk. We get yk. Okay. So c1 alpha 1 k. C1 alpha 1 k. Alpha 1 k is what? C1 is non-zero. Therefore, this should be equal to 0. And therefore, C1 equal to, if this is 0, lambda is equal to 1 upon 47. So we get this. You are putting the values here only. Okay. Actually, it is like that. So this will be the solution. And this is the result of summation equation or Volterra equation. Okay. Right. I think this will finish your Z transform. This will finish your Z transform. Okay, we'll stop here. And the next unit will start in next lecture.